It's Peppa and George's bedtime. Goodness, cries Mummy Pig. Why are all these toys on your bed? That's where they live, giggles Peppa. The toy basket is full. Mummy and Daddy Pig decide that Peppa and George really need the toy cupboard. Let's buy one on the computer, says Mummy Pig. Hooray! Everyone cheers. The next day, Mr. Zebra the postman delivers the toy cupboard. Oh, it looks a bit flat, sighs Peppa. Don't worry, your mummy and daddy will build it for you, says Mr. Zebra. Daddy Pig empties all of the pieces onto the floor. That's odd, says Daddy Pig. There aren't any instructions. Maybe it's so easy to build, it doesn't need any instructions, insists Mummy Pig. Maybe it's so easy to build, it doesn't need any instructions, suggests Mummy Pig. Everyone helps Mummy Pig build the toy cupboard, and very soon it's finished. Well done, Mummy Pig, shouts Peppa. Hee hee, laughs George. That's strange. The toy cupboard is very small. How will all of our toys fit inside? Asks Peppa. The cupboard is tiny because Mummy Pig has not used all the pieces. Oh dear. If only we had the instructions, sighs Daddy Pig. Mr. Zebra has found the instructions in his van. I'll build it for you, says Mr. Zebra. Mummy Pig gives Mr. Zebra a cup of tea and some biscuits. Mr. Zebra has put the toy cupboard together and placed the toys inside. But there's no room for the last two. Oh, poor Teddy and Mr. Dinosaur, where are they going to live? Cries Peppa. I have an idea, says Mummy Pig. Teddy and Mr. Dinosaur can live on your beds. But that's where they were before, says Peppa. I know, smiles Mummy Pig. That's why it's such a good idea. They look really happy on their beds, don't they? I bet Peppa and George can't wait to go to bed. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. The train ride. Today, Madame Gazelle, Peppa and her friends are going on a train ride. Can I see your tickets, please? Mr. Rabbit asks them. The children wave their tickets in the air. Oh no, I've lost my ticket, Pedro cries. There's your ticket, Madame Gazelle says, pointing to a ticket on the ground. Try not to lose it again, says Mr. Rabbit, smiling at Pedro. Oh, that was lucky. Be careful, Pedro. All aboard, calls Miss Rabbit, the train driver, as the train pulls into the station. The children and Madame Gazelle jump onto the train and take their seats. The train pulls out of the station and heads down the hill. Toot toot! Madame Gazelle gives the children an activity sheet. They have to spot a boat, a signal and a tunnel. Just then, Peppa says, I can see Grandad Dog. Ahoy there, Grandad Dog calls. Toot toot! Grandad Dog looks like he's having a great time on that boat. Hooray, the children cheer, and then they tick boat on their activity sheets. Well done, Peppa. Pedro doesn't feel very well. Oh, Pedro. So Madame Gazelle lets him go to the front of the train. Miss Rabbit lets him wear her hat and drive her train for a bit, which makes him feel a little bit better. Oh, be careful, Pedro, don't go too fast. The train puffs slowly uphill. The train puffs quickly downhill. Whee! Cry the children. Look at their smiling faces. They're having a wonderful time. The train stops at the junction to let Mrs. Duck and her friends safely across. A signal box! That's on our list, says Peppa. Hooray! The children cheer. And then they tick signal box off their activity sheets. The train sets off again. Toot toot! Suddenly it all goes dark. Ooh, we're in a tunnel, Peppa says. A tunnel is the last thing on our list. The children tick tunnel on their activity sheets and give a cheer. Hooray! Last stop, Miss Rabbit calls. But Madam Gazelle, how will we get home? Peppa asks. We are home, Peppa, Madam Gazelle replies. The train has gone in a big circle, so they are right back where they started. Tickets, please, Mr. Rabbit says one last time. Pedro, can I have my hat back, please? Miss Rabbit asks. When Pedro lifts up the hat, there is his ticket. Oh, that's where I put it, Pedro says, and everybody giggles. Oh, at least you found it in the end, Pedro. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. The dentist trip. Every morning, Peppa and George brush their teeth. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Well done, Peppa and George. I think Dinosaur wants to brush his teeth too. George, are your teeth as clean as mine? Peppa asked, showing off her clean white teeth. You both have lovely clean teeth. I'm sure the dentist will be very happy, calls out Daddy Pig. Later that day, Peppa and George are at the dentist waiting for their checkup. It's George's first visit. Peppa, George, the dentist will see you now, says Miss Rabbit, the nurse. Hooray! They both cheer. This is Dr. Elephant, the dentist. Who's first? He asks. I'm first, replies Pep. I am a big girl. Watch me, George. Open wide, please, orders Dr. Elephant softly. Ah. Peppa opens her mouth as wide as she possibly can. Let's take a look, says the dentist, checking Peppa's teeth with a mirror. They do look clean, Peppa. Good girl. There, all done. What lovely clean teeth, cheers Dr. Elephant. Now you can have a special drink. Gargle. Peppa spits the pink liquid out into the sink, and it's George's turn next. George does not want it to be his turn, so the dentist lets him hold Mr. Dinosaur. All done. You have very strong, clean teeth, George, smiles Dr. Elephant. But wait, what is this? Cries Dr. Elephant. George has clean teeth, but this young dinosaur's teeth are very dirty. Dinosaur, you need to brush your teeth. The water jet, please, Miss Rabbit, orders the dentist. He uses the water to clean Mr. Dinosaur's teeth. Slosh, slosh, slosh. Pink, cries George, picking up a glass. That's right, George, says the dentist. Mr. Dinosaur needs some special pink drink. He's enjoying that. Giggle, giggle. Gosh, what shiny teeth you have, Mr. Dinosaur cries. Dinosaur, grrr, snorts George. George loves Mr. Dinosaur, especially now that he has nice clean teeth. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Grandpa Pig is showing Peppa and George his plants. He's very proud of his garden. What is this, Grandpa? Asks Peppa. It's a weed, replies Grandpa, a cheeky plant growing in the wrong spot. We must get rid of it. We don't want that to spoil your garden, do we, Grandpa Pig? It's very lovely. This little plastic gnome is going to live in our garden, says Granny Pig. His name is Mr. Gnome. Oh, no, he isn't, snorts Grandpa. I can't have that funny thing looking at me all day. Peppa and George, says Granny, do you think Mr. Gnome looks funny? No, Granny, replies Peppa. I think he looks cute. Cute, agrees George. You're outnumbered, I'm afraid, Grandpa, cries Granny. Mr. Gnome is staying in the garden. Toot toot! Just then Mr. Bull arrives with a truck full of gnomes. Gardens are for plants and not plastic, Grandpa tells Mr. Bull. We don't want gnomes. But these are Granny's gnomes, says Peppa. Oh, it appears we do want gnomes, says Grandpa. Okie dokie, says Mr. Bull, tipping the gnomes onto the grass. Peppa, George and Granny Pig stare at the enormous pile of gnomes. They make the garden look messy. Wow, says Peppa, they are lovely. But Grandpa Pig doesn't think so. I have this for you too, says Mr. Bull, giving Granny and Grandpa Pig a big box. Thank you, Mr. Bull, says Granny. That must be my plastic well. What's the point of a well without water? Asks Grandpa. It's a wishing well, says Granny. You throw a coin into it and it makes a wish. Do the wishes come true, Granny? Asks Peppa. Yes, says Granny. Wow, can I make a wish? Peppa asks. Of course, Peppa, cries Granny, giving Peppa and George a coin each. I wonder what they'll wish for. Peppa and George throw their coins into the well and make a wish. Later, Peppa tells Grandpa Pig what they wished for. We wish for that we could have a wishing well and gnomes in our garden too. Oh, says Grandpa, I think we can make that wish come true. Grandpa Pig drives Peppa and George home to Mummy and Daddy Pig. Mummy, Daddy, cries Peppa, I made a wish and it came true. What did you wish for, Peppa? Asks Daddy Pig. Lots of gnomes and a wishing well for our garden, cries Peppa. Oh, I don't think we have room for all of those gnomes, says Mummy Pig, looking at the big pile Grandpa's carrying. Oh, nonsense, replies Grandad. You've got plenty of room. Oh, says Daddy Pig, uncertainly. I suppose we do. The gnomes and the wishing well take up the whole of the garden. Peppa and George are very happy, and Grandpa Pig is very happy too. I think they look lovely. What a great wish, Peppa. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed.